Okay. We are casting a 1v1 of Immortal Gates of Pyre. In the bottom of the map, playing for Team Fire, we have HydraulixXD. And in the top of the map, playing for Team Ice, we have Ytlander. Ytlander has chosen Orzum of the Karath faction for his Immortal, and HydraulixXD opting for Marla. I haven't seen this matchup much before between Ytlander and HydraulixXD, so I'm quite excited to see how each of these players play. I've played against both very strong players, and I've seen a lot of Hydraulix games against other players. But yeah, Ytlander Hydraulix combination is a new one for me, so it'll be really interesting to see how these players match up against each other. Let's see what they're building. So we do have a expansion first from both players going into a single ether extractor for Ytlander and a single for HydraulixXD as well. He has got the Ultra of the Worthy down, which lets him build his production units, so Masked Hunters. And it looks like that will finish a little bit faster than Ytlander's Legion Hall, but there shouldn't be too much in it. So we should expect to see units coming out roughly the same time to contest Pyre in the middle of the map. It will be interesting to see who has the better micro in this situation. All of the teapots are lining up to give vision for the epic battle over the neutral camps. We do see a fast Soul Foundry coming out from Ytlander as well, so that could be going into Dervish most likely. And the God Heart upgrade for Hydraulix, so he can move into later stage tech. No Neuroside, so he's probably going for fast Resonance with an Amber Womb. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we can confirm that. Looking at the middle of the map, Ytlander does pick off the teapot for Hydraulix. Hydraulix is moving up to bully out those Zentari though with the Masked Hunters. The Masked Hunters pulling back and almost taking out Ytlander's teapot. Some great teapot micro there. They are now chunky boys as of the last patch, so a lot more health, less likely to instantly drop. And Hydraulix does now start going for the Pyre. We do have two teapots here at the ready to try and steal for Ytlander, but he is a little bit too late. So Hydraulix is able to secure the Pyre and move back. The other camp is still up for grabs, and it looks like Hydraulix isn't going to contest it, so it's likely Ytlander will be able to take this without any issue, bringing the Pyre back even. We do have the Amber Womb and the Neurosite, so I think we can expect both offering to upgrade those Masked Hunters and also Resonance. Oh, and the Bone Canopy dropping as well. So we might have Resonance with a fast follow of Thrums by the looks of that. He could also be making Icors from the Amber Womb. They did get a buff in the patch as well, and they're great harassment units, just like the Dervish. So he could be going for maximum harass with the Icors for the speedy ground units. Nope, it's Resonance. Okay. It's what we thought from the beginning. We do see Ytlander lining up to come and attack the natural. He does spot the Masked Hunters, getting a couple of hits out from the Dervish and coming into the natural here. The Symbiotes have not been pulled yet. Oh no, this is a massacre. Almost all of the Symbiotes go down, at least 6 of them. And Ytlander's Dervish just coming in and doing so much damage against these light units in the Masked Hunters. He will need to be careful with the Resonance out now. Hydraulix should be able to push them back with the Resonance. They are a strong counter. But maybe not enough. Ytlander has managed to kill off most of the rest of Hydraulix's units, so it could be the Resonance aren't quite enough, although 2 Zentari do go down, so it looks like Hydraulix will be able to successfully defend and push Ytlander's force out of the base. Ytlander did lose a lot of units, but he also got a lot of damage done, taking out 2 Erebors, probably like 8 moats, and a good chunk of Hydraulix's army as well. We don't see any thrums coming out yet in the bone canopy. We do have the Angelarium up for Ytlander as well, so all of the options, as well as building the Reliquary, which will let him get Zephyrs. If Hydraulix does go into thrums, he will need some anti-air, because at the moment Ytlander doesn't have any. However, it looks like Hydraulix is focusing on rebuilding his Mast Hunters and Resonance. Bit of an interesting choice there. I feel like he could have punished that early aggression from Ytlander with some thrums if he'd acted early enough, but now that we've got 4 Zephyrs coming out, it's going to be a bit too late for that to be successful. We do see Ytlander going for the second set of Pyre camps and getting bullied well and truly out of the way. There is no way those 4 Zentari are going to be able to hold their own against Mast Hunters and 2 Resonance. We do see the Zentari starting to go down. They do get pulled back, and we should see a fairly straightforward defense here for Ytlander. We do have 2 Dervish that have snuck into the main. Let's see how much work they can get done against these moats. We do see 1 moat drop. That may be it. Good pullback there from Hydraulix to ensure that he didn't lose too many. Looking at the army supply, Ytlander is got a bigger army. Both players building. Don't mind me and the doggo that is interrupting my cast. Welcome Melbourne to the stream. Thanks for letting us know. Back to the game. yeah, long time viewers will know Melbourne. Melbourne. All right, hold on. He's coming to join. As per the stream rule, as per the rules of the stream, if you interrupt the stream, you have to come star in the stream. So this is Melvin, and he's going to be my co-caster. So Ytlander going to put pressure on the third base of Hydraulix. Hydraulix does have 4 Resonance up, but the Scepter is going to provide good cover, especially with only 2 Mast Hunters there, which are the only units that will shoot up for Hydraulix. Nonetheless, Ytlander does pull back. I'm not sure if that's the right choice. I feel like he probably had enough, although there is some Wraithbows now, which is the Aru anti-air unit, as well as some Dread Sisters, which have a root. So actually might be the correct choice here, so that his Scepter doesn't get rooted and killed by those Wraithbows pretty much instantly. Unknown, we should definitely let Melvin cast next time. We do have the Rain of Blood from Hydraulix. He is pushing in here to try and put pressure on the third. However, he's getting surrounded with a number of Hallowers out now. Scepters and a lot of Zentari and Magi pushing in. This is a really rough engagement for HydraulixXD. He's lost most of his units. Almost all his Dread Sisters are dead. The final one goes down. So many Resonance have dropped as well. What a massive win for Ytlander in that engagement. Absolutely wiping most of Hydraulix's army and opening up his third to get bullied like it's nobody's business. Nice Magi placement there, allowing for some wind step micro. Oh, and the forward Magi as well to enable those Zentari to get some range damage in as well. I don't like the odds for this base here. I think it is gonna be dead and done shortly. Melvin says, sad. I am sad because now the base is dead. Poor base. Hydraulix opting to instantly rebuild it. We do have some Aerox coming out as well to deal with the Scepter. And more resonance being built. At the same time, Ytlander has expanded to a 4th base behind this. So not only does he have an army supply advantage, he's now also building an economic advantage as well. I agree, Pigeon. That army control for Ytlander was awesome. The setup with the Magi, the pullbacks, the Windstep micro, Hallows in the backline. Super effective. We do see the Aerox instantly take out that Scepter. It was not long for this world. Resonance are sieging up to prevent the push onto the high ground, but Ytlander is fine with that. He doesn't need to be aggressive. He's building that economic advantage. He's got the army supply advantage. He's just going to take the Pyre and now move up to bully the 3rd again. Will be interesting to see how he goes against the Resonance. Hydraulix does have a huge amount of Pyre, which he can use if he needs to. That's enough for a Rain of Blood and a Red Harvest at the same time, which would be pretty deadly. And no 4th base yet. So really starting to swing significantly in Ytlander's favor. We do see the pillar get dropped as well. Ytlander committing. That is a lot of resonance that he's going to have to work his way through. The pillar is taking a lot of damage. The Red Harvest goes down. All of the kittle being made, and Ytlander's whole army gets destroyed. What an amazing comeback there from Hydraulix. What an amazing defense. The combination of the resonance and the Red Harvest just really punishing Ytlander, and his Hallows are even going to go down as well. This is not looking good. Talk about the tide swinging in an instant. Hydraulix has managed to claw his way back into the game. We do see Sharu up from Ytlander, which should help defend here. But with the resonance, it is still going to be a tall order. Ytlander is trying to rebuild his army as fast as he can. At the same time, Hydraulix putting a really aggressive position. Hydraulix still doesn't have a 4th base, so this does feel like a bit of an all-in. Because if he doesn't get another base up, and his army does end up getting taken out, that will be the game. So this really is an all-in situation where if Hydraulix isn't able to do significant damage here, then I think he will have lost the game. He is able to destroy a lot of Ytlander's units. He's got the Acropolis down to half health. Oh, we do see an amazing ore strike on the resonance though. One of them dropping, the other going down to half health. The 3rd sieging up in the ore strike. No, resonant, no. It does look like the 3rd base for Ytlander is going to drop. Unless there's an Empire Unbroken. He has enough Pyre for an Empire Unbroken. Ytlander, where was the Empire Unbroken, man? We do see another resonant get picked off. So that is, we are now back to 3 base apiece, which has evened it up significantly. But Ytlander had been mining for so much longer on 4 bases. So it really does still, I think, actually put him at a slight advantage here. Although, as we've seen, Hydraulix can just take a really good fight and turn it around. So, no guarantees. We don't yet see... We see that, yeah, we do see the 3rd being rebuilt for Ytlander. Does he have any moats? He doesn't have any moats he can transfer, I don't think. Maybe soon from his main. Do see a Masked Hunter run by. Coming in towards the 4th base, but there is a tower there, which will help these 3 Zentari hold against those Mars Hunters, no problem. I think the challenge here still is that Hydraulix is behind on bases. He hasn't been able to capitalize on winning that engagement and destroying the 3rd base to spin up a 4th of his own. And so I am still a little worried that ultimately he's not going to be able to have the sustain. We do finally see a 4th starting to be built now. So if he is able to hold Ytlander, get another good engagement with his army, he's certainly not out of the game yet. We have seen some really good defensive play from both players. This tower here, combined with walling off, does make it very difficult for harassment to come through the bottom of the map. That even can help preventing harassment coming in and hitting your 3rd or your natural. So often units will swing around the bottom of the map to go undetected. Gives me an idea that like actually an Orzum tower here, as well as this tower, would make it quite hard for anyone to get into your base. Except through here, you can kind of channel them in. We do have a big fight going on with the behemoths now. Oh, and the red harvest. Oh no. We do see 2 ore strikes going down and doing significant damage, but with the red harvest, it's hard to see how Ytlander can hold. I think slightly in the favor of Hydraulix there. Ytlander, don't lose those Sharu, man. Great ore strikes forcing Hydraulix back. At the same time, we have Zentari pressuring the 4th, which hasn't even completed yet. And swinging in to harass the natural as well. They do divert to the... Should have kept going, guys. The dude can convert to going after the resonant to no avail, just getting instantly deleted. What an amazing... This has been such a back and forth game. I thought Hydraulix was out of this game for sure until the massive fight here where Ytlander lost most of his army. So it's an exciting one. The switch into Behemoths was very impactful. We do have a Bloodbound as well. So our sneaky teleporting assassin unit. Wonder what he's thinking. Is it to snipe Magi maybe? Or the anti-air perhaps? Bit hard to tell. We do see Hydraulix pushing out. At the same time, Ytlander is coming in to attack the 4th. Trying to cement that economic lead. We do see the surround coming in from Hydraulix with the Rain of Blood. The Pillar of Heaven goes down as well. Huge engagement. We see the ore strikes coming out on the resonance and on the Mast Hunters, pushing Hydraulix's army back. He does get the surround with the Mast Hunters though, so it looks like he will indeed wipe all of Ytlander's army. Ytlander able to save those Sharu and pull them back. Great engagement from Hydraulix. However, he has lost his 4th base and has to rebuild it now as well. The Sharu are coming in to harass the worker line. This is a brave play. Quite risky, because those Sharu are expansive units. And we see one of them drop. 2 of them drop. Three of them drop, and is it gonna get away? Is the one? It's the fabled Sharu. We call this one Houdini, because he can escape anything apparently. So, Ytlander losing so much army. If you look at the army supply, there's a huge delta there. However, he still does have an economic advantage. So if he's able to rebuild, which he has bought some time for himself now, with that Sharu distraction, he's certainly not out of the game, not yet. His unit's going for Pyre, though, in trouble. We do see the attack coming in from Hydraulix. And Ytlander is going to need some more army supply if he wants to try and hold this. He does not have a lot of anti-air to deal with those behemoths. So that's going to be challenging. He does have enough fire for an Empire Unbroken, but we have not seen him pulling it out so far. And those resonants are really rough. We do see the Sharu go in for an ore strike. One of them dropping. He is able to push the resonance back. And I think one or two of them might have gone down. But he lost a lot of units and a Sharu in the process. We do see the behemoths coming in. One of the Zephyrs dropping instantly. Oh, we do see a flank being set up here. This is a great move from Ytlander, coming around to flank and hit the resonance from behind. Can he get an Empire Unbroken on the tower? Maybe he doesn't need to. He is getting the surround. Units attacking from all sides. The Red Harvest goes down from Hydraulix. The resonance have been defended, but the Dread Sisters are down. The Zentari are coming in. They get the surround on the resonance and they're able to push back. What an amazing play from Ytlander. That surround is next level. The sneak attack, pincering Hydraulix's units in so they can't escape. Amazing. And now instantly coming in to apply pressure on the third. Challenge there being the tower is still up. Those behemoths are still up as well. So his units do take a lot of damage. We do have a fourth and fifth base up for Hydraulix as well. So it'll be interesting if Ytlander manages to scout this and punish it, because what he doesn't want is to let Hydraulix rebuild from this position. He is splitting his army. He hasn't scouted that 3 o'clock base though. Oh, we'll just see the air rocks coming in. Woo! Taking out most of the scepters. He does have the Zentari on the 4th base, wiping out that moat line. So that's really good economic damage. I think he still hasn't scouted this base. So we'll have to see if he does manage to see that base there. He will now. He's retreating his Zentari around. They should see the base. Does he go after it? No, he's retreating, but at least he knows it's there now. He's got his main force coming out to put pressure on the 3rd again. Still no 5th base from... Oh, sorry, we do have a 5th base up for Ytlander. So still economic advantage. The tower does go down. Oh, we do have the Icors coming in. One Castigator goes down. Really important anti-air unit against these behemoths. Can't afford to lose those. Wow. What an insane match. We see the split force for Ytlander going in. Ytlander is so good at this. Dividing his army, sending half of it, or a good portion of it, to put pressure on a base, and then swinging in with the other. We do see that this base is mined out, so Hydraulix effectively on 2 bases that are still actively mining. The 4th is almost mined out for Ytlander as well, so he's actually only on 1 base effectively. He really needs to expand, otherwise he's going to end up having an economic disadvantage. Does have a lot of army supply, so if he can put some pressure on now, he may be able to mitigate that, but if he doesn't build up another base soon, he's going to be in trouble. Talk about swings and roundabouts this game. This has been the story of clutch micro plays to win massive fights to basically get you back into the game. We do see some long distance mining going on for the base here, which is quite funny. We do see a huge engagement. The Red Harvest getting popped. Ytlander punching forward to take out the behemoths. 1 behemoth drops. Oh, the castigators go down though. There's still 2 castigators left, but I think this fight is going slightly in the favor of Hydraulix, but both players losing a lot of their army in that engagement. The full commit from Ytlander there into a red harvest was very decisive. Here's long range mining as well, which is great to see. We don't often see that in the game. Ytlander is moving up to collect even more Pyre. So I think 1.5 bases mining versus 2 bases is kind of where we're at this stage. And this has turned into a slugfest. A war of attrition. Who can stay alive the longest? Scruffy, it's the story of this game has been each player, when they're significantly down, taking a massive clutch fight and wiping most of their opponent's army. And they managed to hang on and keep in the game. Like that has gone, we've seen that happen back and forth between these players now. And for the longest time, Hydraulix was behind on an economic advantage, and just a couple of massive battles ended up keeping him in the game. And now he's actually ahead, has been ahead on mining for the last couple of minutes, with 2 bases actively mining, with the Ytlander only had this one and some long range mining here. He's finally getting another base up. But this has been like an insane war of attrition, man. Huge Pyre advantage to Ytlander now, which could make a big difference in the next engagement. We won't see any red harvest coming out from Hydraulix, at least not for a little while. But yeah, this game has been insane. We're almost at the 30-minute mark. We do see some harass coming in from the Zentari. So forcing out and reducing the mining time. But we have so much long-range mining going on. Just look at the mini-map, man. This is insane. And we do have 2 bases coming up from Ytlander as well. So he should be securing an economic lead. But look at the army supply for Hydraulix. If he makes a move soon, I don't know how Ytlander's going to be able to defend it, other than using a shitload of Pyre. This is such an insane match. We do have a large split harassment force coming in. We'll discover the Orzum tower here, or just the regular tower, to be honest. Ytlander is coming in to defend. He could use an Empire Unbroken, but maybe doesn't need to. We also see the rest of Hydraulix's army coming up to the north as well, heading in for this base, which is currently undefended. Some good moat damage here from those long distance mining moats. And we see the army just coming in completely uncontested to the north for the Ytlander. He's left some Zentari to clean up the masked hunters. The rest of his army is moving back to try and deal with the aggression coming in. He does have the 2 bases coming up here. And he's managed to pull his moats, maybe, or maybe they all died, I'm not sure. Right now, Hydraulix has a significant advantage in army supply. So Ytlander's going to need to be very careful not to just get wiped off the map. Some more long distance mining. I don't think I've seen this much long distance mining in any game of Immortal I've ever seen. And we see another base getting built for Hydraulix as well. This is the craziest match I've seen ever, I think. Like, talk about a tooth and nails fight to the death. Oh, we do have the Orzum tower. Oh, and a Pillar of Heaven. Interesting. So I think Ytlander thinking he was going to get pushed in there. Hydraulix has also managed to get a Pyre advantage now with Ytlander casting the pillar. He does have 3 bases that are actively being mined, as well as some long distance mining, versus the 2 bases that that Ytlander has. What an insane match! I think we do see Ytlander come in trying to get the Pyre. He's going to have to get forced back almost immediately. We do see the Rain of Blood getting cast by Hydraulix as well, pushing in to try and take the base in the middle of the map. He has managed to kill a lot of Ytlander's units. The pillar has helped, but I'm not sure that it's going to be enough. I think this may be it, folks. This may be a GG with the stronger army of Hydraulix able to push in and destroy all of Ytlander's army, take his bases. So I think this might be actually the end of the game. We do still have the moats mining. I think, yep, Hydraulix is going to deal with that now. Got 145 army supply versus 5,820 army supply. It was written in the stats. We have a GG with the winner, HydraulixXD, in probably the most extended epic slugfest I've seen since starting playing this game. Great game from the players.